Welcome to Sundays with Sonia. I'm going to give it a few minutes for some people to join, but today I will answer any questions you have about the home buying process, and I'll just talk about some tips and recommendations on what I feel you should do in order to prepare to become a homeowner in 2023. So again, I'll give it a few minutes for a few people to come in. And if you have questions, you can put those in the comments. And I do have some notes, so you may see me look down from time to time just to be sure I stay on track. But definitely, again, if you have any questions, you can put those in the comments. Okay, it's about 1 minute after, and I'll give it just another minute. I hope everyone has had a great Sunday and a great weekend so far. I definitely appreciate you taking time to come in and join me today. Well, about 30 more seconds and we'll get started. All righty, so it's right around 2 minutes after. I don't see any questions in the comments, so I'll just talk about a few things that I think you should do in order to prepare to purchase a home in 2023. The first thing I would recommend you do is get a copy of your credit report. So do this even before you apply. You can get a copy of your credit report. You're entitled to one free credit report a year. And if you go to annualcreditreport.com, you can request a free copy of your credit report. Now, it will not include your FICO score, but you will be able to see anything that's reporting on your credit report. And oftentimes there are errors on your credit report. So that's why I suggest you get a copy of your credit report, see what's on it, see what's reporting, identify any errors, and start working on those. Number 2, I suggest you work on improving your credit score. That's one of the things that people often ask is, what credit score do I need to buy a home? Now, I won't say we all know, but with certain loans, FHA in particular, you can be approved for a loan at 580. But now that's just the FHA requirement. Lenders oftentimes have their own overlays. So depending upon the lender, you may not be able to qualify at a 580. But what I would recommend is that at minimum, you have a credit score of at least 640. 640 will open you up to being eligible for certain down payment assistance programs, but that's just the minimum to get in the door. Ideally, of course, you want the best credit score possible. So minimum 640, ideally above a 660, and that will really open the door for better interest rates for you, because the lower your credit score, the higher the interest rate that you'll pay. And some things that you can do to improve your credit score, of course, number 1, make sure that you pay all your bills on time. Avoid having any 30, 60, or 90-day lates on your credit, at least within the past year. Reduce your debt to income ratio. So look at some things that you may be able to pay off, because that's going to open up your window to be able to be eligible to be qualified for more. Number 3, I recommend you create a budget. Determine how much money you can afford to allocate toward a monthly mortgage payment, and think about, property taxes, your homeowner's insurance, because those are things that will typically be included with your mortgage payment. And then you also have maintenance on the home. What I find is that people purchase based upon that monthly payment amount. You may be eligible to purchase a home that's $400,000, but you may decide that based upon what that monthly payment looks like, you don't want to go up that high. And just for your own information, you can use mortgage calculators, and you can just Google mortgage calculators, and it will let you go in and put in like how much of a down payment you're planning to make, what the interest rate is, put an estimate for taxes and your homeowner's insurance, and it will tell you how much the monthly payment will be. So that will help you get a gauge of what the monthly payment would be, even though you may not have spoken to a lender yet, but that's a way to get a good idea. And in doing that, you'll be able to know, well, how much do you really feel like you're comfortable with paying each month toward your mortgage payment. And paying off debt. That's, we talked about that in improving your credit score, paying off debt, but that also will help you from a budget perspective. If you've got credit card debt, or maybe a car that you're close to having paid off, just make that extra push to try to get that paid off so that you can open up the opportunity to qualify for more. Next, you want to save for a down payment. Now, depending upon the loan type, your down payment will vary. FHA loans, your minimum down payment is going to be 3.5% down. You may go conventional. Conventional, the down payment is going to vary. It could be as low as 3%. It could be as high as 20%. It just really all depends. But saving for that down payment is important. Ways that you can save for a down payment: possibly taking on a part-time job, eliminating some of your spending. Maybe you eat out for lunch every day and you're spending $15 at lunch every day. Even if you just eliminate that, you're only going out maybe twice a week for lunch. It's little small things. It may be that coffee that you're stopping to get every day in the morning that you don't think about. But, if you're spending $5 a day, 5 days a week, that's $25. So over the course of a month, that's actually $100 that you could be saving a month to go toward your down payment. And then you also have to think about closing cost. Now, I will say that it's gotten a little bit better for buyers. We are seeing them get help with closing costs, but you still need to plan to save for those things. Next, just do some research on your own and look at look at loan options, just so that you are familiar. So knowing the different loan types, an FHA loan versus a VA loan, which VA loans are geared for our veterans. So if you have been in the military, you could qualify for a VA loan. There are also zero down loans, and one of those, the USDA loan. That's no money down, but those are geared toward if you want to live in an area that's more rural. So certain areas qualify for a VA loan, USDA loan. So that's, like I said, a no money down product that you may be eligible for. And then we talked about FHA, which an FHA loan is a government-backed loan. VA loan is also government-backed. And then, like I said, conventional and USDA. Lastly, your employment history. Lenders want to see that you have a strong employment history, and ideally they want to see 2 years of continuous employment. And So oftentimes people ask about, well, how is there any way to get around that? So if you've been in college, then a lender will consider that. So that can take the place of employment history. If you've just graduated from college and now you're working and you've been on your job, we'll just say 6 months. Well, but you've been in school the last 4 years. So that will be an exception for that 2 year of employment history. Also, if you change jobs, you can change jobs. Ideally, you want to stay in the same field, but now you can't, or let's say don't go from being a teacher and now you are self-employed and got your own tutoring company. That's not considered the same because previously you were a W-2 employee. Now you're 1099. So the lender is going to want to see 2 years of history as a self-employed, or what we consider a 1099 employee. So definitely keep your employment history strong. Lastly, you want to make sure that you are working with a great realtor, like myself, someone that has experience and can guide you along the process and introduce you to a great lender, and be able to answer any questions that you have and guide you through the home buying process. All right, I am looking in the comments, and so far I don't see anything. So far, I don't see any comments, so I will give it a few minutes. And if I don't see any comments, I will go ahead and log off. But I do appreciate you joining in, and I hope you will join me. I won't be live next Sunday. Next Sunday is Mother's Day, so I will not be live. But I will be live. Let's see, the following Sunday will be the 21st. So I will be live. And for that live, I'm going to talk about different cities in the Atlanta metro area. And if you've got a particular city that you would like for me to talk about, put that in the comments. Even if you go back and watch this on the replay, you can put the name of the city that you're interested in, and I'll be sure and talk about it on the live that I do on the 21st. So thank you for joining in. And like I said, if you've got questions, you can put those in the comments and I will definitely respond. So again, I don't see any comments, so I'm going to log out, but I appreciate you taking time to spend a few minutes of your Sunday afternoon with me.